Representative Womick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, I understand there is some concern about this legislation, and just please bear with me and let me explain to you what it is, and then I'll, of course, abide by the committee's final vote. But what this bill does is requires the Office of Homeland Security within the Department of Safety to take all the necessary steps to obtain security clearances for certain members of our General Assembly, not to exceed 10 members during a General Assembly, 5 of which will be selected from the Senate by the Lieutenant Governor, and 5 which will be selected in the House by the Speaker of the House to receive such security clearance. The security clearance will enable those 10 members, and by the way, 2 of those 10 members, one is the Speaker, one is the Lieutenant Governor, so there's actually going to be 4 from each of the House and the Senate for a total of 8. They have access to briefings by Department of Safety, Homeland Security here in the state of Tennessee. We already have this committee in place, and we have had it for 2 years. We've tried to avoid having to go public with this for security reasons. But Department of Homeland Security is resisting the security clearances. Why do we need security clearances? And I know that's the underlying question here. I don't know if everybody here realizes, again, this is something I don't like to put out publicly, but should there be, and Davidson County just went through an anthrax attack this week, practiced that. It's a practice attack. Should we go through such a situation, a terrorist event as such, whether it's a dirty bomb, chemical weapons, EMP, electromagnetic pulse bombs, whatever it might be, an attack on the Capitol, on Legislative Plaza, there are provisions in place where each one of you will be contacted and taken to an off-site location in the state of Tennessee, and we will conduct business as a legislature with the governor. So business will continue in the state of Tennessee in any kind of a terrorist event or situation. Those of us on the committee need access, and I personally have most of that access anyway, given my clearance as a federal officer. But the rest of the folks need to have access, and we all need to have full access to some of the secret information. Because, and the reason is, there is nobody else that takes care of the legislature. Homeland Security takes care of the counties and the different areas of the state. FEMA has its own duties. The governor has his own protection. But the legislature has 0. The alternative plan to go to an off-site location has been created over the last couple of years to protect each one of us as representatives. And without going into too much detail, you will be contacted and escorted to that location should a national or a statewide emergency or attack occur. So, without disclosing too much more, I hope you can understand where we're trying to come from. These security committees were appointed by the Speaker of the House and also by the Lieutenant Governor. We've been doing this for over 2 years now. We've been meeting off and on. And a lot of the renovation security upgrades that you see were the result of this committee. So there's a lot of things involved with this, and I request your consideration. If you want to roll it a week, we can do that as well. But again, I'm at your mercy here.
Do we have questions for Representative Womick? Representative Bunt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative Womick, originally I had questions about this, and I had real concerns about it. I did come and talk with you about this, and I do believe, as we see around with the new things that have happened here for our security, that we need people who represent us with Homeland Security. So from your explanation and what I see right now, I am for the bill. I think it's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
As I interpret what I'm reading, it says requires the Office of Homeland Security within the Department of Safety to obtain security clearance for certain members of the General Assembly. We can require, but does that mean they will do it?
They will, once we receive the security clearance. Right now, Mr. Chairman, we are receiving security briefs, but they're limited in category. They're not secret security briefs. And I can tell you from my own experience in the military and in federal law enforcement, there's a whole lot going on out there. And I'll just give you the aviation industry, which is my expertise. You wouldn't believe the stuff we find out that the public doesn't know that we're on the look for.
Okay, but you said that these meetings have been transpiring for the last couple of years as it is. How is this going to make that either better or different from that?
What that will allow, again, we don't have a security really set up other than what we've done on our own, the committee, for legislators. There is no plan in place for the legislature. There's a plan in place for everybody else but the legislature. Now, we do have a plan, as I just discussed and explained a while ago, but that has just come about in the last couple of years. And the information that comes across to Homeland Security, a lot of it comes from the federal Department of Homeland Security. And this information that comes across, some of it is very pertinent. I'll just give you an example. How many of you have ever heard of an electromagnetic pulse bomb?
Yeah, I've heard.
An electromagnetic pulse bomb is similar to a nuclear bomb that goes off. It wipes out everything electronically. We had one go off just down outside of Shelbyville. It'll be 2 years this summer. Nobody knows about it. It was in the paper one day in a column about that big in the Shelbyville Times. That EMP bomb made off the internet, suitcase size, wiped out a 5-mile radius of everything that was electronic. That means your cell phone, telephones, your electronic ignition on your cars, television, anything having to do with electronics is fried. That means there's no communication. A terrorist attack would follow such an EMP blast. Let's just say you put the bomb right down here in downtown. You wipe out roughly the entire 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius of Nashville. Nobody can drive anywhere. And if there's an attack that occurs, law enforcement can't get there. The cars won't even start up. They can't communicate. They may not even know what's going on. So this kind of information on, and I just use the EMP as an example because it has been tested in Tennessee, is one reason why some members, again, chosen by the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker, need to know what's going on so that we can protect all of the 99 and all 33 representatives and state senators.
Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sponsor Yield.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to catch up with you. I heard you say that there is a plan in place for the legislators now. What advancement, I guess the way I would ask, that the speakers and these legislators could give to that plan that we don't have now? I guess that's what I'm looking for.
If we had this information, it's a very good question, sir. We had the information, the full, not the limited, non-secure information, but the full-blown secure amount of information. If we thought an attack was about to happen, we could preclude that attack, maybe stop it, or if it's such short notice that it's going to occur, we can immediately reach every one of these representatives in the House and in the Senate. One, to let them know. Two, to provide protection to them and their immediate family, possibly their homes. And three, to get them to that location where we will meet and determine the next step after such of an attack. If we don't have that information, we can't look down the road and see what's going on, we may miss the opportunity.
So would this committee be able to divulge what would Johnny Shaw have to receive that information? Bam.
You have to do a background check. And once the background check is done, you're given a secret clearance. That's all this does, is ask them to provide a background check and give these members a secret clearance. That's all this is. It doesn't give us any kind of latitude to create something or do anything. Nothing can be done without the legislature approving it.
Does this have a fiscal note cost to it?
No, it does not. Not to my knowledge.
I don't think it shows a physical note. All right, do we have further discussion? Speaker Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And all this way over my head, you're scaring me. But I don't know. Safety issues, you know, Homeland Security, our police force. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with representatives getting certain information, and I've got too much on my plate. I guess some of the people on the committee have time to do this, but I mean, I think back. I think we have good security here. You know, if I survive being elected speaker, I think we can survive almost anything that can happen up here on the Hill. But I just think this is just a little far-reaching. I think your intentions are wonderful, but I think it's just a little far-reaching. I want to leave security to the experts, and you are an expert, but I'm not sure we have 10 members up here that are experts in security, and I may be on the wrong track. But
Well, Representative Womack, my question was, if you have 10 members that are going to be on this special security, with the special security clearance, they can't conduct the business of the state. And the state's conducted by us as a whole body, and that wouldn't be even a majority to conduct business. I don't see really, I'm not positive I follow what the intent, what their position would be in that.
You as a legislator are a target.
I'm sorry.
You as a legislator are a target. How many of you in here received a death threat ever? I've received 2 since being a legislator, directly because I am a legislator. You're a target. And what this is going to allow us to do as a small committee, if we see something that we're concerned about, we will bring it to the Speaker and the Lieutenant Governor. They will make the decision whether to bring it to the membership, to the rest of the House and to the rest of the Senate, for a decision to be made on what to do and how to deal with it and how to handle it. That's all this is. All we're doing is gathering information to ensure that the legislature, which has no protection established, I mean, the governor, everything's set for the governor. He's whisked away to a certain place, certain location. He's secure. The legislature is not. Well, we've gone and we're working on to make sure that does happen. But every one of us are targets. And you may not realize it, but you are. And so in a situation like that, it gives us the opportunity to head this off at the pass.
Speaker Williams.
is a representative or Chairman Shipley on that committee, that particular committee that's already set up?
Yes, sir.
I have a lot of conversations with him. Sometimes we ride back and forth to work together. Would you care to roll this to the Hill? I'd just like to get some more information on it. I know you mentioned when you first started, you said you'd be happy to roll it to the Hill, and would you agree to that?
Absolutely. I would be happy to give you the names of the other three in the House and let you speak with them as well. Also the members of the Senate. I think that'd be a good idea to let you do that and get a little more insight than what I'm giving you, and how, because this is about the legislature. And are we going to be able to function as a legislature in an unfortunate, and hopefully never happens, attack, other than having to become Speaker of the House? I hope it never happens.
All right. See of no objection on House Bill number 1327. We are going to roll that to the Hill.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members.
Yes, and I think you have the next bill, House Bill number 13.